for, Ma?
Look ahead there, Tommy. That's where you were born.
It's awful sorry looking.
Well, you're gonna live there, Tommy. In that house. No more running away from unfriendly folks. Yeah. This was your father, son. He was a good man.
Why did they kill him, Ma?
It was all so mixed up, son. But maybe someday I'll have the answer for you. Hmm? As soon as I get our things inside, Tommy, we'll start getting the place straightened around.
I'll play Indian Scott till you call me, Mom. What's the rope doing up in the tree, Mom?
You get away from there, son. Tommy! Tommy, don't you ever go near that tree again, you hear me?
I only want
You
to...
mind now.
I wouldn't hurt myself.
Tom, go there and get me that axe. I'm gonna chop this tree down.
Ma, why?
It belongs to the decent citizens of Silver City. They branded it their hanging tree.
Howdy, young fella.
Howdy. Appears like you're the sheriff.
No, I'm the deputy marshal.
Boy, I bet you you're fast on the draw. Bang, 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 bang.
Hey. Be careful where you point that thing. I didn't know the Brown place had opened up again. Your folks around?
There's just my ma.
Well, could you take me to her? I always like to introduce myself to new folks moving in.
We ain't new folks. I was born here.
Your name Brown?
Sure, Tommy Brown. I'm 8.
Where's your mother, Tommy?
She drove into town. Be back by and by.
What happened to the big tree used to be standing there?
Ma chopped it down as soon as we rode in this morning. I would have fixed me a treehouse in it if Ma'd left it standing.
Now, don't you fret, Tommy. You'll be needing it for firewood.
Ma didn't cut it down for firewood. She drug it off to town. Said it was going to its rightful owners.
Thanks, Tommy. I'll see you around.
Oh, so that's it. You blame me for your husband's hanging.
It was you who led the posse that went after him. Do you deny that?
Of course I don't. He and his men broke into my cash box, stole every cent I had, $5,000.
So you lynched him.
I had no part in any lynching.
Well, then, the sight of the tree shouldn't bother you, Mr. Colton.
You're akin to violence, Mrs. Brown. You've been gone 8 years and you should have stayed gone.
Now, take it easy, Colt.
I'm glad you're here, Clay. Look at that. This woman dumped it there.
Hi, Miss Brown. I don't imagine you remember me.
I remember you very well. You used to run the general store before Lem was murdered.
It's plain enough she's come back determined to hang Lem Brown's hanging on me and a few others who had reason to hate him.
I've come back to my rightful home, and I mean to stay.
Miss Brown, could I see you in my office, please? If you don't mind.
After he died, I took my baby son to Mesa to live with my mother until she passed on. But the neighbors didn't approve of the widow of an outlaw who'd been hung. So I moved to Phoenix and got a job cooking for rich folks.
They find out about you there, too?
Yes. It hasn't been easy being Lem Brown's family.
How about here? Do you expect it to be easier here?
I've got a son to raise, Deputy. It wasn't so bad before he started school. Then he began to hear things. Cruel things. So then I decided if he had to live with Lem Brown's ghost, why, it would be under his own roof, on his own ground.
You didn't help matters none by dragging that tree into the square.
I guess I wanted to strike out at people here before they struck at me. But I'll remove it.
Well, now, you take your time about that, Miss Brown. We'll just let the tree stay out there for a while, see if it won't help us catch the men who lynched your husband. No matter what he did, they committed a murder.
It's not revenge I'm after. All I want is to be left alone.
That gang stole an awful lot of money, Miss Brown. None of it's ever come to light. You don't know where Lem hid it.
I never saw one penny of it.
If it was to turn up, things would be easier all around.
Perhaps his killers made off with it. Maybe that's the reason they killed him.
That's something to think about.
Well, I better be going now, Deputy. Tommy will be wanting his dinner.
Bye, Miss Brown. I'll be riding out to see you real soon.
Thank you.
How do you know she ain't just trying to cover up, Clay?
I don't know, Sarge. But I checked up on some of the answers she gave this afternoon, and they all added up honest.
That hanging tree is still in the square, I see.
I know.
She's as much a lawbreaker as her husband was.
That's saying an awful lot, Mr. Colton.
You better find out what she's up to, Claire. I'll do it myself.
It sounds like you're fixing to take the law into your own hands. You think you got the right to do that?
No, I guess no man has that right.
You think he had a hand in stringing up Lem Brown?
Can't say, Sarge, but it's my business to find out. Simon, thought you was up Flagstaff way, tracking down Vance Barnum.
Got him. Named Curly Leroy is his partner. I'm heading for the Verde Valley to bring Vance and company. Hi, Sarge.
Simon, you wait a couple of days till I clear up some Army business. I ride along with you.
You barricaded against Indians. What's that big tree doing out in the middle of the square?
Oh, that's Amelia Brown's calling card. You remember her? Lem's with her?
Oh, she's come back.
Got a boy to raise, his wife.
She says.
You don't believe her?
You got any notions of your own why she come back?
Well, Colton thinks she's back to smoke out them lynchers. Ned over at the livery thinks she's gathering up a new gang to start up robbing where Lem left off. Amelia says she wants a roof and schooling for her boy Tommy.
Maybe a lot more. There's all that missing bank money. She might want that for Tommy, too.
Thought crossed my mind.
Maybe I'll let Curly stay up in the hills a couple more days while we're tackling this problem.
Now, Simon, Vance Barnum would pine away. Don't you worry, I can handle things here.
You got a widow and a fatherless boy mixed up in the case. Might tangle you up some of them easy sparking emotions of yours.
I figured the only way to handle this is exactly the way you would.
How's that?
Well, I already wired Phoenix and Mesa. Amelia lived in both them places just like she claimed. Well, I figure her interest lies in the lynching, the school, the roof, or the loot.
Got a first pick?
Yeah, well, like I say, I've been thinking like you would. Now, if you was a widow, I'd figure you'd be set on recovering the loot first.
Danged if some of my orners ain't rubbed off on you after all.
Well, you got plenty to spare.
Of course, you checked on what's happened to the rest of the Lem Brown gang.
Of course. Chuck Bouloigne's the only one left alive. He's in the Tannersville prison. Sarge is going to keep an eye on Amelia while I ride up to Tannersville in the morning. Ask Chuck a couple of questions.
Well, I better get me some dinner and a good night's sleep. I get going by sunup. I could ride into Curly's hideout before dark tomorrow. I'll be back in a couple of days.
Good hunting.
Likewise.
Well, here he is, Deputy.
Hello, Boulogne.
What's this all about? Warden says you want to ask me some questions.
That's right. Sit down.
I've been here for 6 more years. You got any questions? You ask her when I come out.
Sit down, Boulogne. You'll cooperate if you know what's good for you. Well, I'll be back after a while. I gotta check the yard. The guard will be right outside the door in case you need him.
Boulogne, you were one of the Lem Brown gang, that right?
One of the Lem Brown gang. That's a ramrod, mister.
Oh, then it'd make more sense for me to call it the Chuck Boulogne gang, wouldn't it?
You said it.
I'm the deputy marshal of Silver City.
Yeah?
That's where Lem Brown lived. He died there, too. He was lynched. You heard about it?
I heard. Don't take no time at all for news like that to get around.
Well, his widow's come back to stay. Claims she wants to settle down, raise her boy proper.
Plus that to me. Ain't even met her.
Not a cent of that money your gang stole's ever been recovered. I got a feeling Amelia Brown's sitting on it. But I can't prove it.
You're all wrong there, Deputy.
Why do you say that?
'Cause Lem hid it. Wouldn't tell nobody where. That's how he kept control.
We might have told her. Man can't always keep a secret from his wife. My feeling is she never touched a dime of that pile until she made sure you were out of the way. For good.
What do you mean, for good?
They just turned down your parole, didn't they? In 6 years, when you get out, it's going to be too late for you to claim your share.
Yeah.
So I got a proposition for you, Boulogne. You help me recover that money, and I'll make sure that Miss Brown don't ever get a chance to enjoy it.
I don't know nothing. Nothing. Hey, guard!
Take him back to his cell. Well?
Well, I don't think Boulogne's going to be content to sit out the rest of his sentence. I think he'll take the first chance he sees to escape.
Deputy, if you're asking me to do what I think you're asking me to do, that could cost me my job.
Well, nobody could ever prove you deliberately helped him escape, Warden. Besides, I'd be right on his trail. Never let him out of my sight.
Does Head Marshal Fry know you come here?
Yeah,
Does he go along with this crazy scheme of yours?
he never said otherwise.
All right. We'll see that Boulogne gets his chance to break out. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You just let our fish in the stream, Warden. Let me worry about keeping them on the line.
When's Clay coming back? It's been almost a week now.
Wire come yesterday. He'd be here most any time.
Gallivanting around while things here go to pot.
Oh, the tree out there spook you, huh?
No, it don't. But it should have been removed. Town's taking sides. Some people are actually beginning to believe that I led that lynch party 8 years ago.
Oh, your conscience is clear, ain't it?
Of course it is, but... Well, you know how people are.
Well, then stop trying to stir up trouble for the widow. Folks are wondering what's behind it.
Well, I'm beginning to wonder what's behind it when the deputy lets a woman like Amelia Brown practically laugh in my face.
Oh, look, Colton, I've been watching her place every day, and she ain't been doing nothing but working, and that's a lot more than I can say for you.
Been waiting for you, Sarge.
What are you doing here, Clay? I thought you was following Boulogne.
I am. He's down there right now visiting Miss Brown.
So he come straight here, huh?
No, he didn't, Sarge. Slipped off into Gila Flats and stole himself a change of clothes. And he left his prison duds on the riverbank. Those his pursuers would figure he swam over to Mexico or drowned. Then he came straight here.
If we busted in there right now, we'd find them divvying up the loot and giving you the horse laugh.
We ain't gonna bust in there right now, Sarge. We're gonna wait for Boulogne to make his move. But we are gonna get close enough to see him make it. Then maybe the laugh will be on him.
And on her.
And on her if she's been obstructing the law. But for her sake and her boys, I sure hope she ain't.
You don't fancy my company, Miss Brown? You can get rid of me in a real hurry. Just give me the money.
I don't know anything about it. Lem never told me what was going on. I swear it.
Kept secrets from the little woman, huh?
I can't say what made him turn to crime, but he mustn't have been very proud of it.
Look, I know Len left a paper, a note. Tell her where the loot was hid. That's how he kept control of the gang. Kept warning us if anybody crossed him. The law would find this here paper and we'd never see a dime. It's around somewhere. Probably right here in this house.
You're free to search.
All right. How about it, kid? How'd you like to help me hunt for a buried treasure?
You leave Tommy alone.
Ain't gonna hurt him. But he goes with me, just in case you get some ideas.
Don't worry, Mom. A treasure hunt will be fun.
I'm gonna take this place apart, stick by stick, until I find that note. Come on, boy. We'll start with the attic. Yours did a good job of salting that paper away, but I'll find it.
Tommy, you eat your dinner now and then do your lessons, and you have to go to bed soon.
Gosh, Mom, the attic was full of old stuff. Treasure hunting's fun.
Could be here anywhere.
You're frightening the boy.
Don't blame me. Blame Lem.
I hope you end up the same way Lem did.
At the end of a noose, not me, sister. Lem was stupid. He pushed the rest of us too far.
What do you mean? He pushed the rest of us too far.
Nothing.
You murdered Lem, didn't you?
Nobody murdered him. There was an argument. Me and the boys were sore at Lem for holding out on us. Just meant to scare him into talking.
You lynched him.
You accidents. A hawk bolted.
For 8 years, I blamed innocent people for the death of Lem. Blamed them for what Tommy and I had to go through. I've been blaming them all of my life.
You got what was coming to him.
Well, you murdered Lem, and I suppose you're going to murder me, but it still isn't going to do you any good.
You stop talking about murder. Now, you give me that paper, and I'll leave you alone.
I'm going to tell you. There's a small trunk in the top shelf of that closet there.
Now you're talking, sister.
I warned you not to cross me.
Drop your gun, Malone. I got you covered.
You drop yours.
If you know anybody get hurt,
Give yourself up, Malone. I'll recommend they go easy on you when you go back to Tannersville.
don't make me laugh.
Stand right there.
Take care of him, Sarge. You did a brave thing, Tommy. I want to thank you for helping me catch that outlaw.
Maybe now when I go to school, kids won't say I like outlaws.
You bet they won't.
Tommy found this note. It's in Lem's handwriting. It says that all the stolen money is hidden underneath the barn floor.
A lot of people, including Mr. Colton, are going to be grateful to you, Miss Brown.
What do you want to do with this polecat, Clay?
Gonna send him back home, Sarge. He's still got 6 years to serve for past crimes.
There's one more crime he hasn't been tried for, Deputy. The hanging of my husband.
Evening, gents. Mind putting up an overnight guest in your hotel yonder?
Curly Leroy,
The same.
you do the honor, Sarge.
Well, I hope you don't mind doubling up. Come on.
Who else you got back there?
Chuck Boulogne.
Boulogne? Thought he was tucked away safe in Tannersville.
Well, seems he busted loose the night after I went up to ask him some questions.
So, I never heard anyone busting out of Tannersville except with outside help.
Well, he got help from me and the warden.
You better explain that. How'd the warden get into it?
I had to talk to him mighty persuasive, but I kept saying to myself, this is the way Simon would do it.
You claiming I'd arrange for a prisoner to break jail?
You sure would, if he could lead you to $5,000 of stolen money.
Seems those two's old buddies. Too bad they ain't riding together tomorrow.
You taking Boulogne up to Tannersville?
No, not till after the trial.
You trying him again? He must have committed another crime. He and Amelia are planning on divvying up the loot, maybe?
Well, me, it didn't have anything to do with it. Turns out Boulogne lynched Lem, trying to make him tell where the money was hid. He was real obliging with his confession. Claimed he just meant to coax Lem a little, but the horse bolted.
He was real obliging telling you that.
Oh, well, me and Sarge might have persuaded him a little, knowing how you'd gone about it. Want to hear about it?
If you was going about it like me, I don't want to hear about it ever. Don't want to disturb my sleep. I gotta get shot my prisoner to Flagstaff in the morning.